I want to go through reinforcing confidence because I don't know if you guys have had this situation, but I feel like this is something we all have to fight. Oftentimes, people will buy from us and then they have buyer's remorse, right? Because they're like, oh, I just paid her this money and now is she really going to do what she says she's going to do? For whatever reason, we get all peaked and hyped up, and then we get off a consultation or we're going about our day and we start to think all the bad things like, oh, maybe it's not even that they're not trusting whether or not I can get them there. It might be that they're not sure they can do it, right? And so it's really important for us to make sure that the people who sign up with us are still connected with us. We're going to reinforce that confidence. But if they did not sign up, we want to continue to reinforce that confidence. So we have both models, the lead um, reinforcing confidence in the client. So we'll talk about both here. But confidence is created in conversations, but sustained through the connections. So they see the video, they see the consultation, but if that's all I do, and now everything else is just this automated email thing, right? I might lose them if I'm not really truly building connections. So we're going to talk about that. So I do want to say one thing, I want to bridge this whole GAIN framework that I've been talking about in the 4 Ps so that you guys know that they fit together. So many of you have already using my GAIN method, which is GAIN, goal, awareness, insight, and then inviting to that next step, right? So we got goal awareness, insight, next step. That's the coaching framework that builds trust and understanding. The 4 Ps is how we structure the flow of that same conversation, right? So think of it like this: the GAIN opens the door, and then the 4 Ps guides you through that process and that conversation with them. Together, they create trust, clarity, and commitment with your clients. I just want to kind of show you that those fit together. Um, like I said before, because I teach online consultations, pre-recorded video consultations are attached with the action plan, and we eliminate that traditional conference drop or confidence drop, I should say. They can replay my voice, they can see my energy, they can do it on their time when they're more relaxed and not in a rush mode. I don't know if you've done consultations and people are at work and they're like, oh, hold on, let me close the door. Sorry, I have to whisper, I'm at work, right? It's not a really good position for them to be in. So doing these online consultations really helps. So I encourage you to look into that, maybe play with it and see if it works for you. Um, but even still, even with that, even with the consultation being a video consultation, even though they can replay it whenever they want, we still need to reinforce consistent confidence in our processes with some personal touches. This is where people feel special and not forgotten. Because a lot of times I've heard complaints where people will say, I got started with you and then I felt like, where'd you go? And I hear that complaint with credit professionals all the time. Like, hey, I paid this person money, and then I'm like, where'd they go? I haven't talked to them. And so it's really important that we keep this confidence. So I call it the confidence reinforcement system. And I'm going to give you another framework at the end of me talking about this that you might want to just jot down. I won't deep dive into it, but another framework I use for this confidence reinforcement system. But we have a new client sign up. Here's what I would recommend. You want immediate plan delivery and video. So as soon as someone signs up, I'm going to send them their LevelUp Score action plan. But in the action plan, I'm also going to have a video kind of going over the action plan with them. So I might say something like, hello, John Doe. I'm excited to partner with you. Your personalized plan is attached. It's the exact roadmap to your goal. You're not alone anymore. We've got this, right? You might say that. And then I go into more detail about what's on the plan and what I would go into detail of what the steps are and how they can do those steps, right? So that's how I would do it. My videos, when I do that, send the plan over in the video, my video is a minute or less. So we're talking about a quick conversation. They don't need a lot there. The plan is laid out for them. We just need to guide them a little bit on how to read that plan. Just more so to help them feel special, not so much that they need guidance on reading a plan. Because if you've ever seen a level up score plan, you know that it's real easy to understand the plan and take action, right? But this is just the more personalized feeling that you're providing to them and making them feel special, right? And then I recommend a 48-hour welcome call or text or both. I actually do both, where we just say, hey, we just want to make sure you got your plan. We want to say congratulations on you taking action. Most people talk about changing their credit, but don't actually take action. you took action. So we want to, again, make them feel special. Like they did something that other people aren't willing to do, sets them apart, makes them feel really good. And it's true. We're not faking that. It's true. A lot of people don't take action on their goals, and then 5 years later, they're wondering why they haven't reached their goals, right? And so you want to give them this welcome, make sure they got the plan, and of course, make them feel special. And then you always want to celebrate them. So anytime they have something you find out that was a success in their plan, maybe they emailed you and said, "Hey, Allie, I just got that credit card that you asked me to get." You want to congratulate and celebrate them. Wow, you took action on this. Congratulations. I can't wait to see the results of the actions that you're taking, right? And then, of course, we do a 30-day check-in. And at that 30-day check-in, we're saying, hey, I see you did steps 1 and 2. This is awesome. Congratulations. We're on our way, right? What do you think we can accomplish this month, right? And so you're doing that, helping them to see that they are progressing, even if they took small baby steps, and also to help motivate them to keep believing in themselves. This 30-day mark is a really important one too, because oftentimes, and this is kind of funny, and I know if you think about it, you've done it too. Have you ever had a goal and you get started on the goal, New Year's resolutions, and then as you're getting started on the goal, a couple months later or even weeks later go by and you're like, you start to drop off on the goal, almost like you don't remember how important the goal was for you. Or maybe now because you had some obstacles, now you're trying to determine if the goal is important enough to go through more of that, right? And so this is a time for you as a professional to make sure at every 30-day mark or more often, depending on what you're able to do and how much staff you have and automation you have, is really to come back to them and say, "Hey, John Doe, your goal is to buy a house and you've completed these 5 steps. Congratulations. I know this can be hard sometimes. And if you're feeling that, know that you have accomplished so much and your goal is so big. Remember that you told me you wanted to feel good about being a father, about being a husband, about being a man. And I have to tell you, you're really doing it. Let's keep going. Let's get you to your goal." Right? Doing something like that helps them feel special, but it reminds them of their goal. It starts to put that feeling and emotion back into them that they may start to lose. And so that's a really important part of your process. Now, for prospects, these are people who haven't signed up, right? You might do a 48-hour follow-up call after you send your Loom video of your online consultation if they haven't signed up, right? You might say, "Hey, John Doe, I know your goal of blank matters to you. I see this happening for you. Remember the problem, whatever that problem is we talked about. That's why I built that personalized plan." You can set the plan out again, like lower utilization, whatever, whatever, whatever. And then I showed you the plan, right? When you're ready, I'm here. And again, I always show that plan again in that video. Again, that's a video one that I do. I do that as a Loom video. You're reminding them that they're seen and capable. And this again makes them feel special. Okay. You didn't forget about them. They may have gotten your video consultation, just haven't had a chance to look at it yet. And then they get another message from you and they're like, "Ooh," right? And that's happened a lot, I know, for me on the people who did not sign up right away. And then we have a 7-day goal reminder message. It might be just checking in. How are you feeling about your plan, your goal, whatever? Do you think it's still possible? I know it's possible for you, right? So it might be just a little quick thing like that. 30-day re-engagement story. You might send them a message and say, "Hey, I had a client that was just like you. They had that same goal, had the same obstacles and problems we described that you were having to reaching that goal. And they signed up and they just hit that goal. So I just want to let you know, I can't wait to get you to that finish line too," right? Something like that would be, again, you're telling them, "Hey, I got someone else there." You're providing more hope for them. And again, they're feeling special because they're like, "Wait a minute, she remembered my story, or he remembered my story and my problem, my obstacles, and helped another person just like me, and then called me up to tell me." Like they feel very special. So when you can provide proof and personalization like that, trust can be restored if it started to fade. Okay, so let's see. I am going to Oh, let me just tell you this. So fortune is in the follow-up, and that's why I'm talking about this process of keeping that confidence. The fortune isn't in the follow up, it's in the follow through. Excuse me, the follow through. Automation doesn't replace connection, it extends it. So automations are super important. You know, I talk about automations all the time. Automate as much as you can. They are very, very important. They don't replace the connection though. They just extend it, right? So it gives you more time. You're touchy base more often, but those personalized videos are really important to help keep that connection. Okay. Your systems create the structure, but your personal touches create the emotion that keeps people loyal and keeps people in your pipeline, keeps people retained, but also it is going to keep them so that they can get to their goal, right? Because if we can keep people in our ecosystem and going through the process that we created for them and they reach their goal, I promise you'll never have to worry about a lead again because people who reach their goal tell other people who have a goal similar to theirs. And so I encourage you to think about that. Now, I'm going to give you the 3 R's of retention because I promise you that I'm not deep diving in this. I'm just going to give you them and you can think on them, okay? So the 3 R's of retention, really important. Reinforce progress, recognize wins, remind them of their why. I kind of just talked about that a second ago. Again, I'm not going to deep dive it, but just write that down. The 3 R's of retention. Reinforce their progress. How are they doing? Recognize their wins, celebrate them, remind them of their why. Super important. They will forget. They will forget. Okay. That's how you build a business full of clients who feel cared for, not processed, who feel special. Okay. So here's the truth. People don't remember what we said to them. They remember how we made them feel. I know you heard that before. People don't remember what's been said to them. They remember how you made them feel. So be very intentional about what you're doing. They want to feel special. Every framework I teach, the GAIN, GAIN, the 4 Ps, your client systems, has one mission: make people feel seen, safe, and special. It's the key to every business and growing your business. When they feel that, they say yes and they stay. Okay, as long as you can continuously help them feel seen, safe, and special. So this week, use your 5 minute fix. Again, that 5 minute fix is problem, path, proof, and plan, right? Show them their story, celebrate their courage, and follow through with your heart. Try it, tag me in it if you've done it. Let me know how it's helped you. I really would love to hear that, and I want to celebrate you as well in your journey to growing your business. And if you want help with me mapping out your client flow or automations, your confidence system, your retention system, you're welcome to book a 15-minute strategy call that is free. Again, if you were sitting down and you were tallying up how many times I said special, and you put that in the comments, you could win a upgrade of that 15-minute strategy call to an hour strategy call and get my GAIN framework and my 4 Ps flow process for my clients delivered to you. Next week, I'm going to teach on how to build your freedom funnel, a system that attracts, nurtures, and converts while you sleep. I hope you don't miss that. So again, really excited to have this live with you today. I hope you were able to get the core message, which was the 4 Ps, but the very core message: help people feel special. Thank you and have a great day.